All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. And peace, love, and salutations to the Akim. That's out there laboring. That's not the hopeful elect that's doing this work in truth and sincerity. And pretty much, ICE has rolled out their campaign, a nationwide recruitment campaign to bring in as many bodies as they can, to pretty much fight illegal immigration. And so I'm going to play this clip, hey, this right here, man, you're going to find out, man. Jake, you're going to find out the hard way. Okay, because the requirements for this job are very, very minimal. Okay, pretty much there won't be any type of psychological assessment of anybody that they would recruit. Okay, and hey, pretty much, they're gonna get paid to lay hands on you jakes out there, man. Okay, so Esau is looking at this as a win-win situation for him. In this economic climate at the end of the day, But meanwhile, while Esau is pretty much worried, your everyday blow Joe six-pack, is worried about immigration, this situation that they're about to partake in does not help their kitchen table dilemmas, with rising costs and fuel and food, rent, interest rates is high, okay? Wages are not keeping up with the cost of living, over indulging, in the so-called finer things in life, keeping up with the Joneses, and pretty much he is pretty much a victim of that as well, The American dream is pretty much turning into a nightmare, and they need to show some type of aggression, and pretty much will be a great way for them to unleash that aggression of things that are going on in the earth, man, or around in their part of neck of the woods, so to speak, But let's play this video about the launching this campaign, okay, and then we're gonna look at the comment board. And get some scriptures. So real quick, without any further ado.
The most controversial agency, at least right now in the country, is launching a nationwide recruitment campaign.
Immigration and Customs Enforcement, also known as ICE, says that it is looking for more recruits as the federal government tries to ramp up its efforts to crack down on illegal immigration.
Yeah, so let's get to 12 News journalist Troy Lynch, who is live this morning at the Phoenix ICE field office with what incentives this campaign is offering to get people to apply. Troy.
Yeah, it was just a couple of weeks ago. I was here at this exact spot right in front of the Phoenix ICE field office for the Good Trouble Lives On protest, where there were probably about 100 people that were here protesting Trump's policies when it comes to immigration, but there were thousands across the country that were protesting this same thing. However, this is not stopping ICE's recruiting campaign. They want to bring more people in because they are, quote unquote, looking for brave and heroic Americans to work for them. I want to show you the front page of ICE's recruiting website. Here it is, and you can see Uncle Sam, and right underneath him is the message, America needs you. Now, the website goes on to say, America has been invaded by criminals and predators, and we need you to get them out. Now, ICE is looking for deportation officers, immigration investigators, and lawyers, and to make those jobs more enticing, they're adding up to $50,000 signing bonus, $60,000 in student loan repayment or forgiveness, 25% premium pay, opportunities for overtime for deportation officers that are involved with enforcement removal operations, and enhanced retirement benefits. Now, these jobs aren't available at every ICE field office in the country, but the Phoenix location is looking for those big three, and no undergraduate degree is required. Now, as a part of the recruiting, maybe you've seen the photos of President Donald Trump, Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, and others with big words that say say, defend the homeland on them. However, it does say on their website that working for ICE does come with some risk. Now, we saw that with protesters trying to stop ICE arrests being made outside of Phoenix Federal Courthouse in May, and then, of course, other immigration protests that have happened since President Trump took office. Now, according to DHS, this campaign was made possible by significant funding by the Big Beautiful Bill, as $170 billion will be going to border security and immigration enforcement over the next 5 years. Now, out of that money, ICE is set to get $76.5 billion, with $30 billion going towards hiring 10,000 more staff so they can try to meet their 1 million annual deportation goal. But we're here in Phoenix. Troy Lynch, 12 News, today in AZ.
Troy, thank you.
And that's the whole gist of it, man. So this is pretty much a money grab, okay, for you, these red-blooded Edomites out here, man. Okay? Well, let's look at the comment board. It says here, the first one, it says, well, I serve my country and no one else is offering me a job. So, hey, this is the main thing, man, because why? These incentives are driving them to pretty much, have them say, sign me up, okay? So they pretty much are going to get paid to pretty much apprehend you jakes out there, man, okay? All right? They're going to turn their aggression upon you. And this is going to get physical, man. Okay, this whole thing is going to get physical, and these people don't have no type of psychological process to where they're vetting these people, man. So you're gonna have people that have all kinds of trauma, okay, probably dealing with you people in the past, man. Okay, let's look at the next one. It says a $50K signing bonus with no college degree required coming to a Home Depot and barbershop near you. Now, this is him pretty much saying that, yeah, he's going to sign up because no college degree is required and you get a $50,000 signing bonus. So pretty much in Northern Kingdom, man, this is where he knows that where you people pretty much dwell at, man, or hang out at, man. If you can't catch you at a local Home Depot, looking for a job there, they're gonna find you in the barbershop, man. Okay, it says, somebody says, when you get what you pay for no education will be a disaster. And it says, somebody says, please explain why no education will be a disaster. And the sentiment is obvious. It would be a disaster for the college because they will have less debt slaves. But that's besides the point, though. Besides the point is it's going to be a disaster. Is because when you get people that are not, their brain is not fully, developed, to rationalize, with a combatant, so to speak, it's going to get ugly, man. Okay, it's going to straight up get ugly. You see, all right. And pretty much, man, hey, Esau is a coward at the end of the day, man. Okay, but like I said, though, just as fast as he can go sign up for ICE, he needs to go ahead and sign up and pretty much fight that war that's gonna brew, man. That the Lord is pretty much gonna brew up, man. All right. This is Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 25. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord, which destroyeth all the earth. I will stretch out my hand upon thee and roll thee down from the rocks and make thee a burnt mountain, man. Okay, so this place is going to be toast, man. Okay, the Lord is against this old destroying government, man. Okay, you see? All right, you destroying the earth, man. Okay, and now you pretty much are going to destroy and unhinge the home soil, man. The homeland, so to speak, man. Okay, you see? It says when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction shall come upon you, man. Okay? And it says, and they shall not take of thee a stone for a corner, nor a stone for a foundation, but it shall be desolate forever, saith the Lord, man. Okay? And you're not going to be able to put one stone on top of another, man. Okay? And it says, set ye up a standard in the land, blow the trumpet among the nations, prepare the nations against her, call together against her the kingdoms of Ararat, Minmi, and Ashkenaz, appoint a captain against her, cause the horses to come up as the rough caterpillar, man. You know, when you got pretty much, man, you're gonna have the likes of Turkey and Russia. Pretty much, Russia are guarding to these countries. The countries from the North Country, man, are gonna come up against this place, man. You know, okay, right? It says, prepare her the nations of the kings and the Medes and the captains thereof to blow in all of the rulers thereof and all the land of his dominion. Okay? And the land shall tremble and sorrow, for every purpose of the Lord shall be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon desolate without inhabitant. The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds. Their might have failed. They became as women. They have burnt her dwelling places. Her bars are broken. One post shall run to meet another, and another messenger to meet another, to show the king of Babylon that his city is taken at one end. And meanwhile, man, you know, why you know, this place is going to be focused on the domestic side of things, man. Okay, the nations are pretty much preparing, man. The weak are saying that they're strong, man. Okay, and they're going to come up against this place, man. You see? Okay? But these mighty men here of Babylon who forborn to fight are going to remain in their holds, man. You see? Okay? You know, and pretty much, man, this is going to be a great time, man, for these Edomites to pretty much fall into this snare, man. You know? Okay? All right? Because, hey, what the Lord say, man? Real quick. Let me get that. All right. This is Hosea chapter 9, verse 13. Ephraim, as I saw Tyrus, is planted in a pleasant place, but Ephraim shall bring forth his children to the murderer. You know, and Ephraim pretty much is representing the whole northern kingdom. You know, the Lord had showed favor to the tribes pretty much. You know, when they pretty much came over here to the so-called Americas, man. You know, this place was like paradise, man. You know, okay? It is known as Asterisk in, you know, the Apocrypha. Okay, and pretty much this was a land that was never dwelt. You know, no man had dwelt on this side of the world. You know, okay. A lot of those places in the Americas where the tribes have dwelt, you know, pretty much was like paradise, man. You know, okay. Rich in resources, gold, oil, you know, precious stones and metals. You see, you know, but pretty much, you know, I pulled this scripture up on a chat, GPT chat, and let's go through it real quick, okay? This pretty much was the ESV breakdown of it, right? But it says Ephraim, as I have seen, was like a young palm planted in a meadow, but Ephraim must lead his children out to slaughter. You know, and pretty much, man, you know, with the open borders, you know, and even before that, though, you know, pretty much the tribes were pretty much coming over here to Babylon, you know, but pretty much, like I said, you're dealing with this you know, previous administration that allowed the open borders, you know, and pretty much, you know, when you're dealing with the so-called government here, the Republican and Democrats, you know, it's basically, you know, two sides of the same coin. So pretty much, you know, them Democrats pretty much alley-oop, they've set the alley-oop up for Trump to come in and lay the hammer down, man. You know, this was almost like a snare, okay, to the Northern Kingdom, man. Okay, you see? And pretty much, man, these ICE agents that are going to be hired, man, it's going to get physical, man. Okay, because why? It's because pretty much, you know, the tribes are pretty much are going to try to fight back, man. You know, they're going to try to struggle with you know, not being detained, man. You know, and the whole sentiment is going to be, use whatever force you need to use, man, to get the job done. That's what it's going to end up being at the end of the day, man. You see? Okay? But it says, Ephraim, this name is often used in the prophets to represent the northern kingdom of Israel, not just the tribe of Ephraim, and that's pretty much on point right there, and it says, as I have seen, likely refers to how the Most High or the prophet once viewed Ephraim with hope or favor, and pretty much even the tribe of Ephraim was showed favor over Manasseh, okay, and the blessing was supposed to go to Manasseh, but it went to Ephraim, man, okay, all right, concerning the grandsons, but pretty much, that was the judgment of the Lord, but pretty much, they have been shown favor to live in these, resource-rich lands, but pretty much, Esau came in and oppressed these lands and made it to where the people don't benefit from the resources, man. And this is the reason why you have, the northern kingdom coming here in droves, man, to Babylon, man. Okay? So this was a snare unto them, man. And pretty much the previous administration just pretty much presented the whole tribe up, all of the tribes up, fully alley-oop slam dunk, pretty much, man. Okay? Because now everything that was pretty much done within the last, administration, the last 5 years, pretty much, Trump is coming in now to pretty much undo everything that was done. Okay? As far as having, these sanctuary cities, okay? All of that stuff is coming to an end, man. Okay? So pretty much, man, the whole run of the Northern Kingdom, having, the liberties of being here and, benefiting from the whatever goodies were given to them, okay? All right? That's all going to come to an end now, man. And now the whole thing was that the people have been deceived because the people were under the impression that just criminals were going to be, apprehended and detained. But now they're going after regular jakes out there that are pretty much making an honest living. Even ones that have been here for decades, man. Okay? They're going to have problems here, man. You see? But it says, like a young palm planted in a meadow, okay? A young palm tree or pleasant plant in some translations represents something beautiful, hopeful, and full of potential. The meadow or pleasant place suggests peace and prosperity, okay? This implies that the Most High once saw Israel as a nation with promise and blessing, and the blessings were given, and pretty much, when the Northern Kingdom, okay, pretty much made their pilgrimage here to the Americas, they were supposed to come here to, keep the laws of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. Okay? All right? They would to keep the laws, but, pretty much, man, they was into heavy idolatry, man. Okay? To this day, and the tribes were really going off, man. Okay? So pretty much the Lord pretty much sent this man to come after them. Okay? And then come fast forward here now, all of these nations that have been colonized by Esau, okay, now, the lands are being oppressed, and they came to the Americas, came to Babylon, and now you're seeing now where, okay, now they're in a snare, man, okay? But it says, but Ephraim must lead his children out to the slaughter, or, in the KJV it says the murderer, okay? And it says, this is a stark contrast to the first part. Despite the promising beginning, Ephraim, or Israel, okay, is now leading its children to destruction. Children to the slaughter likely symbolizes future generations being destroyed because of a nation's sins. Okay, and the Lord is pretty much, making inquisition to you jakes out there, man. You see? Okay? He's pretty much making inquisition to you jakes out there. You see? Okay? And it says, possibly referencing war, exile, or judgment. This could also hint at child sacrifice, which was practiced in some pagan rituals. something condemned throughout the Old Testament. But pretty much, the Northern Kingdom is always into that idolatry, man. Okay, heavy, man, and they're into that witchcraft, man. You see, okay, all right, but let's get to the point here. If I wanted to make about to the murderer, it says spiritual themes. The fallen potential, even with those with a promising start, can fall if they turn from the Most High. Judgment for sin is the Most High's justice, includes allowing people to face the results of their choices. All right, generational impact. The choices of one generation can bring the suffering to the next, and that's pretty much the point I want to make right there with these the choices that they made, pretty much to make the pilgrimage to come here. Looking at this place as a land of opportunity, and to thrive. And they were pretty much given free range to open up businesses and prosper here, man. Okay. The Northern Kingdom plays a very integral part in the way that this place is being ran, man. Babylon, you see, a lot of their input and their hard work, man, keeps this place running, man. Okay, but right now, okay, he's pretty much in his feelings. All right. Joe Schmo six pack, okay, understands that he's being outnumbered, okay, and he wants to preserve his so-called whiteness, man, okay. So his resentment towards you tribes is that you gotta go, man, okay, because pretty much he feels that you are hindering progress for the advancement of his prosperity, man. You see, okay. But at the end of the day, for them to haul off, these tribes in disproportionate numbers that you're gonna see soon, okay, is not gonna solve their issues, man. It's not gonna solve their kitchen table issues that they have, man. It's not gonna solve the economy, okay. All right, and that's another back-ended story, where. This administration pretty much is doing things, man, that's not conducive to this place's economic survival, man. You see, okay, with these tariffs that are coming down the pipeline, and it's gonna pretty much disrupt supply chains, man. So this is not gonna solve E's problem, but this is something to where they get a little nugget, man. They get the little chance to show their pent up anger, so to speak. They give it a place to where they can pretty much exercise their aggression, and they're gonna take it out on you tribes, man. Okay, So yeah, man. So this is something that's definitely in the works, man. Okay, pretty much. This was something from Valuetainment. I didn't really want to get into that though, but it was pretty much talking about how Joe Rogan was slamming the immigration about the raids, saying that ICE is arresting the landscapers, meaning that the laborers of this place, man. Okay, so E is pretty much shooting himself in the foot, so to speak, man. But this is all done by design, man, because he needs to dismantle this whole setup, man, so he can usher in his new, the MOTB, man. All right, at the end of the day, man. Okay, but he has to. But this whole covert operation, okay, but now it's coming out outwardly, okay, operation against you tribes, man. You so-called Christians, man. Okay, so pretty much Jacob's trouble is here, man. All right, and we're seeing the groundwork being laid out. All right, okay, and hey, that's pretty much what we're gonna see, man. Because now, these agencies are being outfitted with resources, man. Okay, really unlimited resources, man. Okay, we're talking about. They said about $74 billion, man. It's going to be poured into ICE, man, alone. You see? Okay? So with that, they're going to pretty much, have them fully equipped with whatever they need, man. You know, and don't be surprised, man, if they're even you know, give them firearms, man. Okay, because that's something right now that we don't really see is the firearms, but the firearms will come into play, man. This is this man's blessing, man. Okay, this man is pretty much playing for all the marbles, and he's gonna throw the kitchen sink at you jakes out there, man. You know, but pretty much, man, I'm gonna end it there. You know, and hey, you know, hey, we're gonna see how this thing unfolds, man. Okay, and hey, the Lord is pretty much, man, tired of you jakes out there, man. Okay, all right, but you jakes are gonna have to recognize, man, this is all the Lord at the end of the day, man. You know, all right. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, Shalom.